What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism boxing channel where we talk all things box. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified as soon as we drop new content on this channel. Without further ado, let's get into this one. Just yesterday, Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn held a press conference, and this press conference was all about Dillian Whyte's shoulder injury. Interesting to see. I didn't really see this coming. I had seen a bit of interviews with Eddie Hearn being interviewed by IFL TV, where he was sort of answering detractors and answering critics about the injury, about the legitimacy of Dillian Whyte's injury, because of course there are a lot of people saying, and they've got reason to say it, because now they're talking about Tyson Fury. So a lot of people see it as a convenient injury that just so happens to take place when you get into mandatory position to fight Tyson Fury. So for that reason, and you know, it looks like I can understand the skepticism of a lot of people, because obviously, you know, you've got injured and now you're in pole position to face Tyson Fury for the WBC. So of course it's going to look away. And Hearn's addressed this in some interviews. Dillian Whyte has addressed this in interviews, I think Radio 5 Live, Boxing Social, all the different outlets. Dillian Whyte's been addressing this, saying, Salita's a crybaby who takes care of Otto Wallin, saying, all they do is they just keep crying like babies. I've lost 100,000 pounds on the training camp. They're complaining about 18,000 or 15,000. I lost 100,000. I lost a lot of money myself. Boom, boom, boom. So Dillian Whyte's just saying to them, essentially, I'm just going to take my opportunity now. The press conference was about 20 minutes long, and they just talked among themselves, him and Eddie Hearn, and, you know, they were saying, look, the injury is real, and we're just going to move on and go after Tyson Fury. And this is one of those things where I don't really blame them for this. I think it's unfortunate. You've got an injury. Whether it's legit or not, obviously I don't know. I don't know firsthand. There's people on both sides saying different things, but at the end of the day, I suppose Dillian Whyte's in a position whereby if he tries to reschedule with Otto Wallin, it's a fight that, it's one of them where if he's got that pole position, it's almost a fight that he doesn't really need to take. If he's got that pole position to fight Tyson Fury, he doesn't really need this fight. And he was saying as much in a press conference. He was saying, I would have knocked Otto Wallin out. I would have probably got him out of there in the first half of the fight, and, you know, talking himself up very positively. And he was saying he's not going to mess around. He's not going to wait around. He's not going to bother to reschedule for these guys, because, he was just basically talking himself up and just saying, look, I haven't got time to mess about. There's a more important fight in front of this. There's a more important fight with a lot more value in it, obviously a lot more money in it, against Tyson Fury. So as much as it's unfortunate that I've been injured here, I'm not gonna bother wasting my time trying to reorganize that fight. I'm gonna go straight into Tyson Fury and try and get him in the ring and use my status. He also stated that as much as he's sort of got this status and he's got his way now to get into that position where he's basically next in line for Tyson Fury, he also said that, look, with Tyson Fury, you don't know what he's going to do. He's unpredictable. He could just look at this situation and say, I've had enough. I'm not going to bother with Dillian Whyte. I'm not going to bother fighting anybody. My legacy's sealed. I've had enough of fighting now. I'm retiring, whatever. And I suppose that's a possibility. Many have also said that the franchise situation is a possibility, which I think it is. You could have Suleiman turn around and just make Tyson Fury into a franchise champion, and then he's not got to worry about mandatories. He's not got to worry about guys like Dillian Whyte, and he can just do what he wants, hang around for somebody else, hang around for Usyk or AJ or whoever wins that. He could do that, but yeah, it's one of these situations now where, you know, who knows what's next. The things we do know, Dillian Whyte has got Tyson Fury next. He's really the next in line, but what we don't know is whether Tyson Fury is actually gonna honor that and take on the fight. I get the feeling that maybe he won't. It's one of these things that seemed like a straightforward thing, but Fury is unpredictable, so you never know. I, for one, I'd like to see it. I think it's a shame about Otto Wallin. I would like to have seen the Otto Wallin fight, and I think, in a way, for Dillian Whyte, the Otto Wallin fight would have been a good test, and it would have been a good one that if he won in that fight and looks good, it would have put him almost in better stead coming to Tyson Fury if he could go in there and take Otto Wallin out, or, you know, beat Otto Wallin up, or just have you know, beat him in a very clear fashion and not really have much hiccups in the ring. You know, if he could beat him very clearly, cleanly on points, or take him out, or, you know, do something a bit more impressive than what Tyson Fury did, then it would have been good for him. And I think he's a fighter that he probably needs a bit of activity now at this point. I don't know whether it's going to suit him to sit out for however long it is with Fury, because I think with Fury, I suppose he needs his rest too, and you could be looking at, I don't know when in 2022, could be looking at, you know, April, May, March, you know, I don't know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about the fact that Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn decided to have a press conference, address the shoulder injury straight on? And another thing I forgot to mention was Eddie Hearn mentioned that you know, the medical report for the shoulder has been sent to the British Boxing Board of Control. So in that sense, it kind of, if they've done that and the board said, you know, they can see it, then that kind of legitimizes it in a way, at least. I mean, people are still going to be doubtful, but I think if they actually did send a medical report to the board, then I think that's fair enough. I think that kind of shows you that, all right, there is a bit of there must be legitimacy to this. You know, it's got to be real. If it's got, well, it should be real unless they've somehow made it up. I think that kind of gives it a bit of reality and a bit of strength there. So let me know your thoughts about this. What do you think about Dillian Whyte's injury? What do you think about the press conference that was had between Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte, addressing the injury, addressing the Tyson Fury situation? And until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out. Catch you on the next one.